The work that you are doing is so critical because often students come to college with low self-esteem, body issues, problems with alcohol and drugs. They just don't always materialize the day they step onto a college campus. So I think the type of work that you're doing at a younger age is extremely important for them to establish confidence not only through those trying teen years, but through their college years and through life. You are giving them life skills.
Hi, Dr. Rentner. It's nice to have you here joining us today.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here to see you.
Thanks. We are excited to hear about your research. We know you've done a lot of research at Bowling Green State University, and we are wondering if you can give us the background on what you've been doing. Thank you.
Well, it's been research for about 25 years now, and I've always been interested in college student health issues, primarily use of alcohol and prescription drugs, but I've also done a lot of work now recently into suicide prevention among college students and tobacco use and basically overall college health.
So I saw something in your research that said if people think harmful behavior is typical, then they are more likely to engage in the behavior. Can you expand, as you just were, on that thought?
Sure, there's a lot of risk-taking literature out there, and we know that this age group, starting with teens and young adults, are really into risk-taking, which is unfortunate, but it's part of their culture. So, for example, if you were to do a campaign about tobacco and trying to tell a 14-year-old that you could die from tobacco use from lung disease, they're not going to believe you at age 14. So you need to make something more relatable to them. And that's what we try to do with the alcohol research as well.
So is it a foregone conclusion when kids get to from high school and they go to college that they will participate in high risk behavior?
Pretty much. What we're finding is that students, I did a survey several years ago of high school seniors. This is when they came to visit our campus, and asked them about their drinking habits as a college student, which weren't that high, but what their intentions were when they came to college. And their intentions were actually to increase their alcohol use, which was interesting because some of them were not drinkers to begin with.
So the power of confidence is really strong. If you get a student coming out of high school, going into college, and there could be, if you could say there are certain characteristics that that person has that would keep him or her strong and not necessarily that person participating in high-risk behavior, what characteristics would you say that student would come to the campus with?
I think the student has to have strong social support from family, from friends, be friends with people who are more like you. Then you're going to tend to pick up on those types of friendships in college. I also think it's important to be extremely knowledgeable about the facts regarding alcohol use. The perception, for example, is that 90% of college students participate in high risk or what we call binge drinking. The reality is that it's about 44%, which is still high. But the point being is that they come in with this misperception. So if we can correct that knowledge at the high school level that not everybody participates in high risk drinking, and to have that knowledge base, I think that gives them more confidence when they come to college to seek out the friendships, the partnerships of those students who are more like them, which are the majority.
Well, now, Total Package Girl is a book that I've written for 11 to 17-year-old girls to help them with their confidence, gaining inner power, having an enhanced body image, and feeling good about themselves. Wondering if you can address the need for a resource like this for girls in that 11 to 17-year-old category and age group, and how that could, in fact, help them in the years as they approach college.
I think that we are not quite there yet, that we need to develop more of those resources for those young girls. There are certainly websites that they can go to and learn more about these misperceptions and what the true behavior is. But I think it lies in campaigns that need to be directed toward that age group. For example, I think we're seeing really good campaigns now geared toward body image through the Dove campaign, through the Lane Bryant I'm No Angel campaign to counter the Angel campaign of Victoria's Secret. But we're not really seeing that with the alcohol use component. And I think that's where we need to put more emphasis. We're doing it at the college level, but we need to do that at the junior high and high school level as well.
How do you take that negative seed, turn it into a positive seed, develop the confidence, allow that girl to then not have the need to succumb to peer pressures?
Well, I often joke about that social media that should be banned until you're 21, just like high risk, just like drinking alcohol and other behaviors, because I think social media has been a real detriment to young girls' confidence. We've seen that through tragic situations of students or that age group that have committed suicide or have gone into depths of depression. And those kinds of behaviors have led to high risk drinking, led to abuse of prescription drugs, led to abuse of other related drugs. And I think that they're not at that age mature enough to handle Facebook and all the social media. Now, of course, that's never going to happen, but I think that we need to put it out there for discussion of that as young adults, they're just simply not aware and mature enough to handle what they're putting out there and understanding how harmful it is to others, to understand that it's out there forever and that not only does it impact the person that perhaps they were bullying, but it'll impact their lives. It'll come back to haunt them years later.
How do we get to the point where high risk behavior, drinking, doing drugs, prescription drugs, whatever it may be, is no longer cool?
That's the key question. One of the things, again, is to get the message out there that the coolest people aren't the ones who are the heaviest drinkers. That's what we have to remember. The people that are sticking out to you are those storytellers, the ones who wear the lampshade on the head. That's who you hear about, but that's not the majority of it. And if you look around you, again, the majority of the people are not going to be those binge drinkers, those extremely heavy, extreme behaviors.
Now, to end and conclude the interview, I wanted to ask you if you can give Total Package girls the best tip, the best advice for them right now to stay strong, be powerful, and maintain an inner confidence, what would it be?
I would say that if you are a kind, generous, helpful, respectful person, that provides you with inner confidence that will carry you through life. And that others who see you as that kind, generous, respectful, helpful individual will also see you as a confident and successful young woman with a great deal of respect.